Recently, we haven't had a very large cat population, which is not uncommon for this time of year, but it's been uncommonly low, the population on our cat floor. And recently we did process a few more. So, there are some out there now, and Purrnicus, or cat Purrnicus, who is our current guest, is one of those cats. He's about 1 to 2 years old, and like a lot of our cats, he came to us as a stray, and he's a little bit more timid at first, but some of our staff have already fallen in love with him and assured me that he is super affectionate and super cuddly. It just takes him a little bit of time to warm up to new environments and new people and things like that. And when we don't know where he's coming from, it can be understandable, right? Being outside can be quite scary. There's lots of things that you have to worry about. So he's just getting used to learning to trust his new environment. So while he doesn't tend to hang out in the front of his cage like some of the obnoxious kittens that are like, pick me, choose me, love me, right? He's kind of more in the back. But if you start to open the cage and start to pet him, you can see he starts to purr and he starts to kind of lean in because he's enjoying that type of attention. The staff wrote on his behavior assessment that he enjoys pets, but also napping, and who doesn't? So he enjoys his cat naps and his comfy spots. One of the things that you may notice that he's doing when you visit is sometimes when cats are a little bit unfamiliar of their environments, they tend to gravitate towards their litter box. And it grosses a lot of people out because they're like, that's your bathroom, that's pretty nasty. But from a cat's perspective, no matter where they live, they tend to have a litter box. So it's something that's very comforting and familiar. And cats are also very obsessed with their own smells. It makes them feel safe and like they have a sense of ownership when they can smell their scent on something. And once they use the litter box, it has their scent too. So that's why they can tend to gravitate towards those places. And once they feel more comfortable, they won't do that. Even today when you went to get him, he wasn't in his litter box today. He was, under his hammock, a little bit still secluded, but not in his litter box. So he's making great progress, and that's something very common to see in the shelter.
So cat Purrnicus has a few scabs on his face. Where do we think they came from?
So it's not uncommon to see scabs and stuff on animals that come in astray, especially if they've been trapped. It can be scary to be caught in a trap and you can't get out, and then they try to get out, and then they kind of scratch their face up, and so sometimes they can get scabs like that, and that may be more likely where the scab on his nose came from, is from like that type of a situation. You can also, when they're astray and they're trying to hide, there's plenty of, branches and bushes with thorns, and those types of things can cause some of those traumas on their face as well. But in his case also, if you're looking at his ears, he has ear mites that he's been treated for, but that makes their ears very, very itchy. So then they're constantly scratching at their ears. So that could have caused the trauma from his ears. So we've treated all of those things, and his scab on his nose is actually getting ready to fall off, and he'll be good to go and look as handsome as ever in a couple of weeks and be ready for a new forever family. If you are interested in making him part of your household, you can obviously book that appointment to visit by going to visitfcac.as.me. But because cats are going so quickly, because our population is so low, you can always check if you're interested in an animal by calling us to see if they're still available when you're ready to come in and visit. And our main phone number is going to be 301-600-1546.